Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle with Dan Fancy Creations, and before we get started with our tutorial today, I wanted to welcome any new subscribers. My channel has been growing so much lately, so I wanted to welcome all the new subscribers and thank you guys for your continued support and for tuning in each week just to kind of see what I'm going to create next. I did want to let you guys know that I do have two other groups. I have a tutorial group on Facebook and a patron group. Sometimes with the channel growing so much, I'm not able to answer questions or get to comments as easily as I was when my channel was just kind of starting out. So my tutorial group is a great way to get your questions answered. I have great admins that help me out, and the group is full of wonderful women that are always willing to help with any issues that other members may have. My patron group is a much smaller group, but it's more of a one-on-one, more personal feel so that I can really focus on you guys, give you guys my attention, and really help you kind of troubleshoot things that you may have going on. So if either of those groups may interest you, I am going to link them in the description so you guys can check them out. So for our tutorial today, it is going to be a summer-themed tumbler. I am so glad that the weather is warming up. We have a boat, so warmer weather definitely means we get to take the boat out on the lake. So that is a huge plus for warmer weather for us. So this tumbler is going to be a beach-themed tumbler, but instead of the bright colors that we may see typically on beach themed tumblers, we are going to be using pastel colors. I love how this came out. It is super sparkly, but it is also more kind of understated. It's not just like in your face, it's more just pretty and beachy, and I really like it. We are also going to be doing a Dawn Power Wash spray on top of the glitter. I just did a little bit of the Dawn Power Wash, I guess you could say. I didn't want it to cover up too much of the glitter. I just wanted it to kind of look like the ocean foam kind of coming up in certain places. So I really love how this tumbler turned out. I hope you guys do too. And I hope that you're able to learn something from this tutorial and create your own version. If you do create a tumbler, please post it in the tutorial group so I can see. So if you guys are ready to see how I create this tumbler, let's get started. So as always, we are going to start with a prepped tumbler started white. I always base coat my tumblers white because it really helps the actual base colors pop more. So the first color we are going to add is Harvest Peach. It is a light corally color. I really like it. It was a new color that I picked up at Walmart and thought it was perfect for summer. So we are going to spray this color about 1/3 of the way down the tumbler. And then we are going to add our light pink. This is candy pink. And we are going to spray it right in the middle, and we are going to overlap our Harvest Peach color slightly. And it was a little bit windy today, so my spray paint was kind of going everywhere. But the good thing about spray paint is you can always go and touch up colors if you need to. So I did go back in and take my Harvest Peach and just spray it again over that pink, just to help create that gradient look that we are going for. And the last color that we are going to be spraying is Ocean Mist. This is one of my favorite colors. I use it for so many different cups. And we are going to spray this along the bottom and then slightly into the pink. But again, it was very windy, so my spray paint kind of went everywhere. I am going to go along the bottom with this metallic color. This way it will have a different color for the sand that we are going to be applying. I typically use a bronze, but I was out of it, so I picked the next best thing. And I am going back in with my pink and overlapping that ocean mist color a little bit. And I am holding my spray paint pretty far away, probably at least 8 to 12 inches when I am just kind of misting it on there. I don't want any drips or things like that. I just want to spray a little bit to help blend those colors. And once we are happy with this, we are going to let the spray paint dry and then we can apply the glitter. So for the epoxy method, I am just going to take a gloved finger and spread the epoxy from top to bottom. If I am doing an ombre or gradient effect on a tumbler, I will apply a decent amount of epoxy. If you guys have seen my tutorials on this before, you know that if you apply the glitter to epoxy that is just slightly on the cup, just tacky, then it will not get absorbed by the epoxy and the top layer of that glitter will not be tacky, so that when you go to apply your next color, it will not stick. But if you apply a decent amount of epoxy to your tumbler, then the top layer of that glitter will be tacky, so that when we sprinkle our next glitter on, it will stick to the previous color. I hope that makes sense for you guys. I try to explain it the best I can. And when I say a decent amount of epoxy, I mean maybe 10 or 15 milliliters versus 5. So it's a little bit more than you would typically use for an epoxy method, but not as much as you would use if you were covering glitter. So we will put the epoxy on, pop our bubbles, then we are ready to apply our glitter. So for the sand color, we are going to be using Americano from Peachy Olive Glitter. It is a really pretty champagne-y gold that also has some opal pieces thrown in there. And we are just going to lightly sprinkle it along the bottom edge of our cup, and be sure to get the very bottom. And I am just holding this really high to sprinkle it, to kind of give it a gradient look into the ocean mist color. And now we are ready to apply the actual color. So for this tumbler, we are just going to be using one glitter color. We are going to be using Coconut Snowball Martini from the Drunk Flamingo. I love this glitter color. It is perfect over plain white cups. It is great if you want to use it over a multicolored base or a different color. I just think it's really pretty. It's one of the favorite glitters that I have. And we're just filling up our tea strainer and tapping this color on the tumbler. And we are bringing it down on top of the sand color because I want to blend this base as much as I can. This tea strainer I got at Walmart years ago. I cannot find a link to this direct tea strainer, but they do have several options on Amazon if you guys want to check out tea strainers if you don't have one. And once this glitter has a chance to get soaked up a little bit by the epoxy, I'm going to go back in with Americano and we're going to sprinkle it right at that area where the original Americano meets the coconut snowball martini. So you guys can see that obviously the top layer of my glitter is a little bit tacky, so that when I sprinkle the Americano on top, it is sticking. And once that epoxy layer has had a chance to cure, we are going to go back in and apply our next layer of clear epoxy. And I am smoothing it from the top down, making sure all of that glitter is covered. Going around the top rims, making sure that is covered. And then we want to make sure our bottoms are covered. When you do cover your bottoms with epoxy, make sure that you are not adding too much. We don't want any epoxy bulges down there. We want to make sure that our bottoms are even and don't wobble. And once this layer of epoxy has cured, we will be ready to sand the rims and apply our power wash. So I went ahead and sanded this cup pretty good, got all the little bumps off, sanded the rims and bottoms. So we are going to need Dawn Power Wash. We are going to need white matte spray paint. And we are going to need a bucket of water. So when we do this technique, you need to keep in mind that wherever you spray the Dawn Power Wash, the spray paint will not touch. I always explain it like a crayon resist painting. So for this tumbler, I did not want a whole lot of the spray paint on the top portion of the tumbler. I really wanted it more along the bottom edges where you would typically find ocean foam, and then kind of fade upwards. So I am just lightly spraying this as normal, spraying the bottoms as well. And then I am also going to spray the top. The top, you can see, is definitely thicker with the power wash because I did not want a whole lot of spray paint up there. You do have to work fairly quickly with this or it will start kind of dripping off. So once the power wash is on, we are going to take our spray paint and I am going to spray the bottoms, spray along the bottom edge, and then I just kind of misted upwards. I did not spray it very thickly, and I did not spray the very top at all. And then we are going to take our bucket of water and wash it all off. So you guys can see that there is more of the power wash technique along the bottom, and then it kind of fades in the middle, and then there's none up top. I really like how this was turning out. So after this is dry, we will be ready to apply our vinyl. So I typically do not epoxy once I do the power wash, I really just kind of wash it off, make sure there's no soap residue on there, and my spray paint is really, really dry. So I just cut out this cute little word. It says sun-kissed. I just wanted something simple for this tumbler. And I do have a little turtle that I cut out, and I did make a half sun to go on the back. If you guys watch my tutorials, you know that I only used lined transfer tape. It really helps me get everything lined up correctly when I pick up the decal and apply it to my tumbler. So I line up that top rim with one of the lines on the transfer tape. And then I press it down in the middle and then press it down on each side. And then we are going to slowly peel it off. And now we are going to apply our cute little sun. And I pretty much use transfer tape until it won't pick up anything anymore. I definitely should have cut a new piece for this, but you know, it was all the way upstairs. And I decided to apply this to the opposite side of my text. So I will just find the center of my text and flip it over. And I basically just applied it where the horizon would be. So the sun looks like it's kind of sinking down into the ocean. And then I need to grab that one little sun ray that would not come off of the backing. And then I decided to add this little turtle. So I ended up cutting him in half. So it looked like he was kind of on the sand making his way into the ocean. So I just cut the decal at an angle. And then I just kind of applied him to the bottom of the cup, centered to the decal. And once these decals have a little chance for the adhesive to bond to the tumbler, we are ready to apply our final layer of epoxy. And that is basically it for this tumbler. I really like how this tumbler turned out. I love the colors on it. I hope you guys do too. Here are some finished pictures of what it looked like. If you guys decide to try your hand at one of these, please post in my tutorial group because I definitely want to see what you guys come up with. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial or learned something new, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to catch the next video coming up that was picked just for you. As always, if you're looking for more tips, tricks, and tutorials, check out my tutorial group on Facebook or my new patron group. Both are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.